Hello everyone, the story I'm going to share today is the wealthy man repays his debt. At the end of Eastern Han Dynasty, the trend of buying officials was prevalent, and it was often regarded as one of the symbols of official corruptions in that era. A wealthy businessman from Shanxi province traveled to the capital city Luoyang. He wore luxurious clothes, rode a fine horse, and had a servant to attend him. He bought a lot of silver to the capital and wanted to buy a high official position. He stayed in the hotel of Luoyang. A poor old man came to the hotel one day and asked to see him. When the manservant saw how poor the old man was, he didn't tell his master. The old man didn't leave, but waited outside the hotel gate every day. Eventually, the wealthy man saw him and offered him with a cup of tea, but he didn't ask why he was there. The old man's visit aroused much curiosity, and soon the room was filled with more people. After the old man quietly sat for a while, he hesitantly asked the businessman for help. But the businessman immediately shook his head and said, "I don't even have enough money to buy a position. How can I help you?" The old man felt very sad. As the people in the room listened, he started to tell his story. He said, "I was a government official and did things clear and just. Last year, I was framed and lost my position. This businessman was a poor young man before. He relied on me for help for more than 10 years. When he left, I gave him 100 taels of silver to start a business. He did well and became rich today. I was so happy when I heard that he was returning to the capital. I thought that at least he would return the 100 taels of silver to me. That way I could repay my debt and have enough money to go home." As the old man said this, tears rolled down his face. But the wealthy man didn't seem to be moved at all. He remained silent with no expression on his face. Suddenly, a man from Jiangxi stood up and said, "My name is Yang. Is what the old man said true?" Embarrassed, the rich man blushed and replied, "Yes, it's true, but I cannot afford to return the silver to him." Yang said, "Soon you will be an officer, and you will not need to borrow about money from anyone. If someone lends you 100 taels of silver with no interest and return it to you within a year, could you pay it to the old man?" Reluctantly, the rich man said, "Yes, I could." Yang said, "Please write a receipt and I will give you the silver." As the crowd watched, the rich man wrote a receipt. Yang took the receipt, then took 100 taels of silver from his suitcase and handed it to the rich man. The rich man angrily handed the silver to the old man. That night, Yang treated the old man and rich man to delicious food and drinks. The old man was very happy, but rich man was not. He ate little and then left. Afterwards, Yang moved up to the hotel and was never seen again. When the rich man later checked his silver, he found that 100 taels were missing. However, his suitcase was locked and sealed and seemed untouched. He also noticed that his fox fur vest was gone. In its place, there was a receipt from the pawn shop. The sum of money for selling the vest. It was exactly the amount Yang spent on their food and drinks. At that moment, the rich man realized that Yang had supernormal abilities. He used them to take the wealthy man's silver and repay the money he owed the old man. The rich man felt sad and ashamed of himself. He quickly left the hotel and was not seen again. Later, the passengers and owners of the hotel all knew about this, And they all secretly clapped their hands and said, "It's clear that people do things in the world, and God is watching." Thank you very much for listening to the story. More touching stories will be ready for you if you just subscribe. Thank you again.